Hello everyone, I am Left, and welcome to, Vainglory 5v5 is now released, and it is now a thing, and what can I say? It's incredible. If you've been following me for a long time, you'll know that I was always skeptical about the nature of 5v5. I thought it would just be like Vainglory caving into the stereotypes of other MOBAs, but after seeing it and playing it, or after seeing it for a while in the old times of like 2016, my opinion started to change. And now that I have actually played it on live in solo queue with my team, it is amazing. If you don't have a golden ticket, you can actually still buy one from the bundle to get 5v5. So if you have the money and you're wondering whether or not 5v5 is worth it, it is very worth it. I can assure you that. So in this video today, I'm going to give you guys some insights onto what 5v5 is, what it will be, and different changes that took place, as well as 5 specific new things that I think you should try in 5v5 that you probably weren't aware of in 3v3. So first, let's talk about the good in 5v5, and for that we are going to be talking about mostly everything. The art on the map is incredible. The design of the map is incredible. Everything looks beautiful. The fog of war is insane. I didn't even really know that existed in MOBAs. I mean, I've played MOBAs that have it. I just didn't really know that it was like a thing that had a name, if you know what I mean. It's incredible how they balanced the specific heroes to fit 5v5, like Churnwalker and his chains, and Vox and his resonance bounces. I was just pretty confused overall about how they were going to get those things into 5v5 and make them work. And for the most part, the meta seems pretty balanced. I haven't played a hero yet that I felt like has absolutely no place in 5v5. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the bad. There are a few bad things in 5v5. One of those is the placement of the healing flask. It's next to your abilities and attached to the ability bar, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is forgetting that they have a flask in fights and dying without using it because you don't remember where it is. So that kind of sucks. The scout cams, sometimes when you place them you accidentally ult because it's on the right side of your abilities. I think those need to change. Also, the active items, they screwed the active item bar up for some reason. It's uncharacteristically smaller than it has been before, even on phone when I switch it to the big setting. So that is something that I'm hoping is going to be changing in 3.0. I know Eco plays on iPad, and he told me it is the same way on iPad. So hopefully that's going to change. There are some queue bugs with some visual anomalies and queues not working, people accidentally dodging, party invites not appearing, things like that. But that is really all of the bad that I have to talk about in 5v5, things that they can easily fix before 3.0 launch. So yeah, let's move on to the 5 things I want you guys to try in Vainglory 5v5. So number 1 is Ozo, weapon power and crystal power. First, we're going to talk about weapon power Ozo. So, you might be wondering, why would you ever play Ozo in the jungle in 5v5? Well, I'm not even saying to play him in the jungle. I'm saying to play Ozo in the lane. Start with a Book of Eulogies and tier 1 boots. Just go off to the lane and start farming. If you are in a disadvantageous matchup in the lane as Ozo, lane swap with a teammate if you're in a party and talking to your team. So the thing with weapon power Ozo is that now that there are 5 enemy heroes on the map instead of 3, that is 20% more, I believe it's 20% more healing and damage, extra damage that you can get with 3-ring Circus's 3rd activation. So you go Serpent's Mask Breaking Point with weapon Ozo. You can stack that breaking point obscenely quickly just by jumping into the middle of the enemies, getting all of that extra healing from your perk and the Serpent's Mask, and bam, you've got 20 breaking point stacks and you're ready to kill everything as Ozo. The same thing kind of goes for CP Ozo. I would probably rather play CP Ozo in the jungle just because it would be really hard to farm with him in the lane. So with CP Ozo, what you do is you go Aftershock and then Dragon Eye. And what the Dragon Eye is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to basically get massive damage off of Acro Bounce. If you thought that Acro Bounce had huge damage across multiple targets in 3v3, well, wait until you hit it on 4 or 5 people at the same time in 5v5. This ability is going to come through huge in 5v5, in my opinion at least, once people discover the power of Crystal Ozo. So, you might be saying, well, Ozo was always so bad in 3v3, why should he be good in 5v5? So, that's something I'm going to get into at the end of the video after I talk about the other heroes that I want you to try. Next one is going to be Idris. Weapon power and crystal power. So Idris had a brief stint in the meta in 3v3, but it was a little bit ago at this point. People were playing crystal and weapon Idris a lot, but that was in more of the patches leading up to like 2.9, 2.10. His CP ratio on his chakram was increased, and he got a basic attack buff for crystal power. His weapon power, or his ultimate, Shimmer Strike, got a 50% weapon ratio increase. So, what this means is that crystal power Idris is sort of back to where he was. He's pretty strong. But the thing with weapon power is since his ult actually does damage now, and it strikes everybody around him when he jumps off of the enemy, what that means is that you can Shimmer Strike into the middle of the enemy team, jump right on off, and bam, you've got 15 to 20 breaking points stacked instantly. So you Shimmer Strike into the middle of everybody, jump off, pick a squishy target, Shroud Step to them, and take them out in about 2-3 basic attacks. It's pretty insane. The build that I recommend with Idris is Sorrow Blade, Poison Shiv if they have healers, and then Breaking Point Tyrant's Monocle. So that is what I would build on weapon Idris, and make sure you guys are like using your Shimmer Strike to generate breaking point stacks, or maybe you don't need to use your Shimmer Strike, like you're not dodging anything or having to ult on low health. Maybe you can just use it when you have breaking point stacks, because then the Shimmer Strike itself will do like 2000 damage, and that's just awesome. So let's move on. Grace Weapon Power Lane is the third hero I want to talk about. So Grace Weapon Lane brings a lot of shielding and utility to her team. Her Holy Shield on Benediction that it applies to her nearby teammates got a range increase so that she can hit more people with one Benediction. Also, the empowered attack on her perk is now the exact same empowered attack that Benediction gives her. So what I find with Weapon Grace is that you put her in a lane against a melee hero that she's not going to get super pressured by. You go like, Sorrow Blade, Tension Bow, defense, maybe even build a second fountain. And Grace is so fast that she can easily just rotate through the lanes, push hers, rotate down, help a gank with Benediction, and rotate down to the bottom lane, help a gank there, rotate back up because she's really fast and has a lot of utility. She's just a really good all-around hero that I think can be played weapon power in the lane now in 5v5. Next, let's talk about Jungle Flicker. There's not really much to say about Jungle Flicker. Flicker gives True Sight now while he's invisible. True Sight means that you can see enemy invisible heroes. If Taka's in stealth, Flicker can see him while Flicker is in stealth. Kestrel in stealth, you can see him, you can see enemy flickers, you can see enemy scout cams, you can see basically everything. That's what True Sight means. So Flicker is very fast, he can clear quickly with a Stormguard banner, and his crowd control really aids in ganks. So Flicker is really going to be very good as a utility jungle pick in 5v5 because just running around the map invisible, seeing all of the enemy scout cams, disabling them, going into the lane, slowing people up, and aiding in ganks. That's what I think Flicker is going to be great at in 5v5. Lastly, I want to talk about Lane Samuel. So I was talking to Lone Delphi earlier today, and he said, Samuel is pretty bad in jungle now. I asked him, well, what do you think about the lane? Because I've played a lot of Lane Samuel since 5v5 came out. He's like, oh, Lane Samuel is absolutely incredible. So Lane Samuel is, I don't even know why he just randomly got so good in lane, but he just is. He can push Saw's lane out into Saw without dying. So another thing is Drifting Dark. In 3v3 on the Halcyon Fold, you often had to cast your Drifting Dark one of two ways, either forwards or backwards. There wasn't really any in between. On Sovereign's Rise, there is so much open space You can cast it diagonal, you can cast it sideways, you can cast it northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, north, south, east, west, any direction you want. Any direction that you want to take the fight in as Samuel, you now can on the more space that Sovereign's Rise gives you. And I think it lends a lot of extra depth to Samuel that he didn't have in 3v3 and makes him a really fun hero to play. So at the end of this video, I was talking about some pretty off-meta things there, at least as far as 3v3 goes. 5v5 is going to bring incredible diversity to Vainglory. When you think about the roles laner, jungler, and support, what do you think of? You think of the laner, a hyper carry that deals lots of damage and gets kills. The jungler is somebody that deals lots of damage and helps the laner get kills. The support is somebody who deals no damage and helps his teammates survive. That doesn't mean those things are not relevant anymore. They mean whatever smashes the Vein Crystal now. If you want to load all of your damage onto mid carry and play Grace top and Lorelei bot lane, more power to you. Literally everything is on the table now in 5v5. It doesn't matter what you play, as long as it works and it smashes the Vein Crystal. Experiment. Get out there. Play Ozo in lane. Play Lorelei bot. Or shove one lane with 3 heroes off the start. It doesn't really matter. We're all learning 5v5, and it's just really fun to try new things. And the environment of 5v5 is just going to lend itself to so many diverse hero comps and things that would never have been viable in 3v3. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed and learned something useful. I'll see you all later.